the ultimate time management experiment: 5 hacks in 5 days. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're anything like me, you've probably found yourself staring at a massive to-do list, feeling completely overwhelmed. Productivity is this elusive beast we're all trying to tame, and the internet is flooded with gurus promising the ultimate system. But how do you know what actually works, especially when everyone's different? I've always struggled with staying productive, juggling work projects, personal goals, and trying to have some semblance of a social life. So I decided to embark on a little experiment. Instead of just reading about these famous time management techniques, I wanted to put them to the test, in the real world, with my own workload and my own tendencies towards procrastination. Let's get into it. Day 1. Slicing my day with tomatoes. The Pomodoro Technique. Developed by Francesco Cirillo in the late 1980s, the Pomodoro Technique uses a tomato-shaped kitchen timer. Work in 25-minute intervals called pomodoros, separated by short breaks. Pick a task, set a timer, and work with undivided attention. After 4 pomodoros, take a longer break. My first day using the technique was surprisingly productive. The structure fostered a consistent level of focus. It set a positive tone for the rest of the week. Day 2. Architecting my day like a pro, the power of time blocking. For day 2, I shifted gears to time blocking, a method favored by productive individuals. Unlike the Pomodoro technique, time blocking schedules every part of your day. You assign specific blocks of time for each task, meeting, and break. This method transforms intentions into a concrete plan. It forces you to confront how much time tasks take. By allocating slots, you minimize unproductive multitasking. I used Google Calendar to plan my entire day. The night before, I planned everything, from work to breaks. I color-coded activities for a visual overview. Living out the schedule was interesting and streamlined. The first few hours felt incredibly streamlined. I knew exactly what to work on and for how long. The calendar dictated my actions, reducing decision fatigue. This helped in transitioning between tasks. When a block ended, I moved to the next task seamlessly. It felt purposeful, like an executive moving through a packed agenda. However, the rigidity of time blocking presented challenges. Life doesn't always stick to the schedule. An unexpected phone call threw off one block. Despite minor hiccups, the benefits were clear. I accomplished a lot, especially on tasks I might procrastinate on. Compared to the Pomodoro technique, time blocking felt more comprehensive. By the end of day 2, I felt a strong sense of accomplishment. Day 3 brought a shift in focus with a principle that's less of a complex system and more of a powerful daily habit. Eat that frog, popularized by Brian Tracy. The rather vivid metaphor comes from a Mark Twain quote, "Eat a live frog first thing in the morning and nothing worse will happen to you the rest of the day." In productivity terms, your frog is your biggest, most important, and often most dreaded task. The one you are most likely to procrastinate on, but also the one that can have the greatest positive impact on your life and results. By tackling your most challenging task first, you achieve a significant win early in the day. This creates a sense of accomplishment and momentum that can carry you through your other tasks with increased energy and confidence. For day 3, I spent a few minutes the night before and then confirmed in the morning what my frog would be. It was a particularly complex research piece for a project I'd been putting off due to its sheer scope. Waking up, my mind immediately started making excuses. Maybe I should check emails first, perhaps a smaller, easier task to warm up, but I committed to the experiment. So, after my usual morning coffee, I sat down and faced the frog. The first 30 minutes were tough, my brain resisted. But I pushed through, reminding myself of the principle. After about an hour of focused work on this daunting task, I started to find my rhythm. The feeling once I had made significant headway on my frog, in this case, completing the most difficult section of the research, was incredible. It was a huge weight off my shoulders. The rest of the day felt significantly lighter and more manageable. The sense of accomplishment fueled my motivation, and I found myself approaching other work with a more positive and proactive mindset. By the end of day 3, I felt a sense of sustained energy and productivity. This method significantly impacted my overall productivity for the day. On day 4, I turned to a decision-making tool that's all about working smarter, not just harder, the Eisenhower Matrix. Named after Dwight D. Eisenhower, this framework helps you prioritize tasks by categorizing them based on urgency and importance. The matrix is divided into 4 quadrants. Quadrant 1 is for urgent and important tasks. Quadrant 2 is for important but not urgent tasks. Quadrant 3 contains urgent but not important tasks. These are often distractions. Quadrant 4 is for tasks that are neither urgent nor important. My day began with listing tasks and plotting them onto an Eisenhower matrix. This process was incredibly insightful. It forced me to critically evaluate each task. Once sorted, the path forward became clearer. The benefits of using the Eisenhower matrix were profound. It brought clarity to my workload. By the end of day 4, I felt less overwhelmed and more in control. For the final day of my experiment, day 5, I explored a concept rooted in our body's natural energy cycles, the 90-20th rule, which is based on ultradian rhythms. These cycles typically last around 90 to 120 minutes, characterized by a period of peak performance followed by a physiological trough where we need rest and recovery. The 90-20th rule suggests structuring your workday around these natural rhythms. The idea is to engage in highly focused work for approximately 90 minutes, pushing your cognitive limits, and then take a genuine break for about 20 minutes to allow your mind and body to recover before diving into the next 90-minute work session. On day 5, I set out to structure my day into these 90-minute work blocks, followed by 20-minute breaks. I used a simple timer and aimed for about 3 to 4 such cycles throughout my workday. The first 90-minute block felt quite productive. Knowing I had a longer stretch allowed me to sink into complex tasks more deeply than the 25-minute Pomodoros. When the 90 minutes were up, I was definitely ready for a break. The 20-minute break felt luxurious compared to the 5-minute Pomodoro breaks. I made a conscious effort to step away from my computer, sometimes going outside for a brief walk, other times just sitting quietly and letting my mind wander. This longer disengagement felt genuinely restorative. When I returned for the next 90-minute session, I did feel more refreshed and ready to focus. The benefits of the 90-20th rule were most apparent in the quality of deep work I could achieve during the focus sessions. The longer, uninterrupted periods allowed for more profound thinking and problem solving. By the end of day 5, I felt a sense of sustained energy that was quite different from the other days. This method seems particularly well suited for creative work, strategic thinking, or any task that benefits from prolonged periods of deep concentration. It's perhaps less about a rigid system and more about listening to and respecting your internal energy cues. Wow, what a week! Testing 5 different time management systems in 5 days was definitely an enlightening and at times challenging experience. We've journeyed through the focused sprints of Pomodoro, the meticulous planning of time blocking, the disciplined prioritization of eating that frog, the strategic clarity of the Eisenhower matrix, and the energy-aligned cycles of the 90-20th rule. Each method brought its own unique insights and forced me to think differently about how I approach my work and manage my most precious resource, time. After reflecting on my experiences, the highs and lows of each day, and the actual output I managed to achieve, I've landed on what works best for me right now. The one I'll keep using, or rather, the combination I found most powerful, is a hybrid approach. I'm definitely going to adopt Eat That Frog as a daily principle, because tackling that big scary task first thing is undeniably effective for momentum. And I'll be incorporating elements of time blocking to schedule those frogs and other important Quadrant 2 tasks from the Eisenhower matrix. For the actual focused work sessions within those blocks, I'm leaning towards the longer 90-minute deep work sessions, inspired by ultradian rhythms, for tasks requiring deep concentration, and perhaps using Pomodoros for more administrative or broken-up tasks. So, I'm really curious to hear from you all. Which method do you use? Or, after watching this, which one are you most interested in trying out? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.